Hello everyone, welcome once again to Amodi's YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber and if you're a new subscriber, thank you for dropping by. Here we discuss mostly fashion related stuff, fashion tutorials, sewing tutorials, pattern drafting, you name it. On today's tutorial, which is a very much requested one, I'll be sharing with you how to do your butt and hip contour on your skirts or your dresses. You can also apply this tutorial to your dresses. It is simple and very easy. So I hope you understand it, and please leave a comment when you eventually try out this tutorial. I'll start off this tutorial by showing you how to take the measurements you need on this mannequin, so kindly watch closely. I'll start off by taking the natural waistline measurements. As you can see, it's slightly above. Next, I'll take the hip measurements and then the length of the outfit I intend to make. For the hip line measurement, you can get that by placing your tape measure from the waistline to the fullest part of your body, but standard it is between 7 to 9 inches also. Next, I'll take the underbund length measurement. Note that this is not a compulsory measurement to take. You can just come down from your hip line around 4 to 6 inches. This also depends on the body size you're working with. When taking your round hip measurements, make sure that there's enough ease for the person when they're putting on their dress. So while taking your measurement, you put in at least one finger through your tape measure. This is a mannequin, so it's quite stiff. Next, I'll check out for the length of the fabric or the outfit I want to work with. Which is 22 inches, which is. Please note that you do not have to take the actual underbody measurement of the client, but for this tutorial, I'll just be showing you how to do it on this mannequin. But it is roughly a difference of 3 inches from your hip line, from your hip measurement. Now we're done with the measurements, we'll head to our pattern paper to start drafting. Here now I have my basic skirt block on my paper. If you've not watched a tutorial on how to make a simple pencil skirt, then you should check it out. This is the pattern that I used for that tutorial. This skirt pattern has a waist start, and you can see I've replaced it on the side. The initial waist measurement was 7 inches, and then I added the 1 inch that I took for that, and I shaped it into my hip line. I did that for both the back and front, but that's not the focus of today's tutorial. On the pattern, I also added my 1 inch zipper allowance. From the measurement we took, we'll be working with a skirt length of 21 inches, which is the knee length. Our front pattern, and this is our back pattern. Normally, if you don't have the measurement of your client, you can just go between 4 to 6 inches from your hip line. That will give you your underbody line. Remember earlier I said that this ranges for different body sizes. If you've taken the measurements from your client's waistline, then kindly do so on your pattern paper as well. So for this tutorial, I will mark out the length of 6 inches from my hip line to get my underbutt line. I'll do so in the front pattern and on the back pattern and connect with a straight line. And this is my hip line. My hip is 36. So this is 18, 9 for the front block and another 9 for the back block. So you deduct what you have. So for each block we have 9 inch, and for the shaping of the pencil skirt I just went in 1 inches on the knee line. But for the underbutt shaping now, we're going to concentrate on this hip area to the knee length. So what we'll do is, there are two ways to go about it. You can either say go in 1 inch on both sides. This 1 inch will be taken from your block line. The second method is also for those that have decided to measure the underbust measurements, then they'll find a way to do, you'll be able to do the subtraction from your hip measurements and know what to take out from the sides. From this under So you connect from your hip line to the underbutt, to the shaping you have on the underbutt, like this. So this is what you have here. The center, what we have here is 7.25, 7.75. You can decide to do that and mark the same thing, 7.75, as you can see here, right? And just connect in this manner. So you can use a straight line and connect from your underbutt to your knee length shaping, and then use a curved ruler to blend in the edges, or you can just go in with your curved ruler if you really know how to manipulate it. I'll repeat this process for the side front. So now I've gotten rid of the previous pencil skirt shaping that I did before, so that you don't get confused with our underbutt, butt contour for our pattern. So we're going to be focusing on now is the underbutt pattern. After you've done your hip shaping, your waist shaping to your hip shaping at the center back, next thing is to do your underbutt shaping, because if you take note of what I showed you earlier on the mannequin, you will notice that there is usually a gap between the underbutt and the hip line. So we'll be taking that measurement in the center back, and we'll go in from our center back line by 0.5 inch maximum. You can decide to take just a quarter inch. Standard is 0.5 inch on the center back. If you decide to take in 1 inch or quarter inch, then good luck, but I usually advise to take half an inch. That's what I use. Connect it to my hip line like this. So from my hip line, I'll connect to the underbutt line like this on the center back. This is how it will look like. This is what a center back pattern will look like. Yeah. The half an inch we've taken here, would also mark it on the knee length, and then we would connect it like this. So just to give you right, and so from here just connect. So we're going to work with this. For the back, we're taking our half an inch, so we'll just mark a straight line like this, and then use our pattern master to just give it a curved look so it doesn't have a sharp edge, right? This is just like a dart, right? So like we do for our usual dart on our bodies, the dart we took here, we added it back, we'll do the same thing for the center back underbutt line. So we'll go to the side of our back pattern and we'll add back the half inch. We'll do the same for the knee length. We'll add back the half inch, and then we'll connect to the hip line. So we'll just connect this to the hip line like this. Connect it to the hip line, and then from this point we'll connect to the knee line. So what we have with blue now is our back pattern, our back skirt pattern. So this is where it starts from the side. This is our back skirt pattern, and this is what it looks like. And we cut through, and then for the front it's just this simple. Okay, what we do basically is just from this point to this point, and then you use a curved ruler to connect. So this is what you have for the front piece, and then you cut your pattern. When you're done, this is what your pattern will look like, and this is the results you would get at the end of cutting and sewing your pattern. I'll also mention that this bust contour is usually nicer on like a wider base skirt like 6 pieces or A-line. Another thing to note is that this style reduces your walking allowance, so you will not be able to walk as freely as you would when you do your usual knee shaping. So I hope you find this tutorial useful and you put to practice what you've watched today. Also leave a comment in the kindly leave a comment below if you'd want me to do a hip and butt padding tutorial here for YouTube. And as usual, I'll see you next time on our next tutorial. So kindly turn on the post notification so you are notified when I post another video. Bye bye.